Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answerman. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Eric.
Wow.
Just got back from New York. McKay!
Hey. First time ever.
I know,
extremely well thought through.
He was not ready.
I was stumped.
45 minutes later.
I know. And then Robert Stripey McCall.
Stripey.
He got his Stripey shirt on.
It just makes
As
it,
he
you
does
know,
his Stripey dance.
it's
Very-
it's
very-
University of Texas colors.
It is.
I feel it feels like I'm back home, but instead I'm in Kansas.
That's too bad.
You're not back home.
Yeah.
So first of all,
you are home.
Feels. Feelings.
what a sincere.
Wow. I feel better.
Yes. So I want to publicly apologize to the gentleman because I was late getting here. I had lost total track of time because I was watching the Apple, what do they call it? World Development Conference, whatever. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're announcing the
We
new
wouldn't know.
iPhone.
We wouldn't know what it was called because we were here on time.
Right.
I think it's Prestige worldwide.
Worldwide.
So they're announcing the new iPhone 8 and now the iPhone 10
X.
or iPhone X.
What happened to 9? I want to know what happened to 9.
I don't know what they're going to do next
Rip.
year.
So next year, they can't come out with 9 next
No.
year, right?
There's no way.
Unless it's like iPhone 9, which is going to be like just regular, and then another iPhone XL, XS. I don't know.
XL would be 40, so
No,
that's
no,
not
no,
gonna,
yeah,
that's
that's
not
not
going to work.
XL?
Yeah, Roman numerals.
No, I know. Oh, I realize
I
that.
got okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So I don't know what they're going to do.
Weird.
Yeah.
But the new, you like my swallow sound? Sorry.
Yeah.
But the new iPhone 10 looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks super cool. Hey, and for the low cost of $1,000.
$9.99.
Oh yeah, sorry,
$99.
my bad. You can save $1 off that.
Right.
Already rebating.
Already rebate.
Technically 1 penny.
It's already on sale.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway, I'm excited to get it. We'll see when it
Oh,
comes
you're getting
out.
it?
I hope so.
Oh.
I want to.
It's like I'm in the same boat. Like I want to get it, but also
Are they not doing like those cool upgrades? If you're available for an upgrade, you
I
can
don't know.
pay
they don't
for-
like they don't do that anymore. Really?
Yeah, they don't.
They don't. I did that with this one.
No.
Yeah,
You
that's
sub-
I,
Oh,
I
I
did that
did.
with this one as well.
No, don't say no because I did.
But they've started
They do it different now.
right.
Oh,
In
The,
other
the
words,
way
you
that I've
don't-
had to do my
yeah.
last two is like you trade back in your phone just as a used phone. You get
Correct.
a couple $100
Right.
for it, and then apply it to the cost.
gotcha.
And then before they used to subsidize by
Yes.
saying you don't have to pay $700 for the phone. You only pay $200 for the phone because in a sense you're paying it off because they charge you on the back end on your monthly fees. Well, now they don't do that, but then you lease the phone. You're paying monthly for it until you own the phone.
Yep.
So they get you no matter what.
No
They
matter
get you.
what, they get your
get
money.
you when
But
you're
I
coming,
do.
you
But
$1,000
before,
going.
but no, before when they did the discounted rate on it, you know, like if you were eligible for an upgrade, I don't think they charged more fees monthly.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think they did. I know I have all of my old phones, and I'm pretty sure that's
You
how
could
I did
sell
it this
'em.
last
You
time.
could sell them and then just get
Yeah,
the
but-
iPhone 10 for free, and then
No.
flaunt it in
No.
Bobby's face.
No, because most of my old phones have cracks and
Well,
aren't-
yeah, but
aren't
that's-
really worth.
I don't think that's very relevant. What I think is relevant is that you flaunt it in Bobby's face, no
That's-
matter what.
That's worth $1,000.
Yes, 100%. I got one before you,
I got
Bobby.
So, for the people that are watching on video,
Those guys. and gals.
we're trying something different with the Mevo. So if you're listening, just hold on real quick. For the video people, every now and then I'm instructing you guys, Eric and Robert. Every now and then when you're talking, look at the camera because then it recognizes you, and the automatic mode that I have it on will pick up that you're talking, and it'll edit to your face only. So that'll help it. So every now and then you can look at the camera
Sweet.
and address the audience. So what's going to happen is we're going to do something. I'm going to maybe reveal what I'm doing, and that way you guys will know.
Well, what?
Glad we talked about this ahead of time.
I
Yeah,
know.
what's going on here?
Isn't this like the second time I've done this?
Yeah.
So I'm having my new assistant. He's taking our old videos, Disc Golf Answerman, and he's chopping them up into individual questions.
Oh, cool.
And then those will be individual video questions. And we're going to create a separate YouTube channel. I'm not sure the name yet, but it's going to be like Disc Golf Answerman Clips or Disc Golf Answerman, not dailies because it's not going to be uploaded daily. But
Sure.
anyway, Disc Golf Answerman single clips or something like that. And so, and then the title of the video is going to be the question.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Right.
Okay.
And so then it becomes part of YouTube's search world.
Yep.
Right. And so it'll be little 2 to 5 minute clips in there. Also, Facebook has created a thing called Show or Watch, where you can take create a page, and it just becomes like a episode page or a mini series or a TV show page.
Nice.
So I'm going to take the videos and upload it there as well. So now Disc Golf Answer Man is a Facebook group and a page as well. I haven't published the page yet. I'm not sure when I'll publish it, but of course I'll let our listeners know. So anyway, that's kind of the plans that we have for taking all of this content and kind of repurposing it or having it out in more places.
Right. And to have it be searchable is super important.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm
Because
excited
we
to-
do have a lot of the same questions a lot, and without listening through all 185 previous episodes,
Correct.
you wouldn't know if that question was
I
answered.
wish I would have had the foresight to do this since episode 1, because that would have been a lot of content, but we're doing it from now on. And I think the first one was episode 172, I think.
That sounds right.
And we're on episode 186.
That's right.
So, I mean, it's going to be a catalog that'll just build and build and build.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about
Build.
Hopefully we answer them well so that they're on there permanently sounding good.
that. Right,
Because otherwise, that would suck.
right,
If you asked a good question and then we just answer it poorly, we're sorry in advance.
right.
Sorry.
So now, anything that's dated, like if people ask us about who's going to win
Sure. We'll leave
Worlds
that off.
2018, that's not going to be on there because that's not relevant information. But if it's good, solid questions, then we'll put it on here. So anyway, so that's going on with that. Eric, you just got back from New York.
Y'all.
And Robert, myself, and Jeremy just got back from Massachusetts, Maine, and then New Hampshire.
Yep. We talked about ours a little bit last week, but we haven't heard back from Eric
Yeah.
at all.
You guys didn't just get back. I did.
It feels like it, but yes, you're right.
It seriously does feel like
I
it.
still
sure.
have kind of a waft of a cold or something from.
Oh no.
No. So how did it go with the new course, Eric?
It went well. I'd already had it designed. Obviously, it was complete, but I just wanted to kind of walk through the property and make sure everything was going well. They already have a handful of ground sleeves, and you didn't get to walk that, did you?
No,
The
we
new-
stayed out front so we
Yeah.
could go grab food.
That's right. That's right. So there are a couple ground sleeves already in the ground. There is one basket in the ground, and it looks really good in those woods.
The
It's
red
a-
ones?
The red
it's
ones,
a
right?
Bright
Yeah.
red
Nice.
veteran. Man, it looks good out there. But no, the walkthroughs, everything went great. Getting to talk with Don and Bill Bruce, walking through. I walked both of them through it, and granted, I'd already walked them through it previously when I was there, but just to get to go through and see some of the changes and, it kind of being beat in already from people walking it and checking it out, wanting to know what's going on back there, and it's looking good. They've got a little bit more work to do. They've got a couple more holes they still need to clear and a few trees that still need to be taken out, but it's on pace. They are on pace.
Very nice. Very good to hear.
Yeah. And the one that we played is beautiful.
Yeah.
And tight,
The
tight
original.
lines.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I assume this will just be more of the same,
It'll
if
be like
not
that.
even better.
It will be, actually. It's going to be a little longer
Cool.
than that course and a little more open style fairways.
Nice.
Open woods fairways.
Cool.
So I'm going to make a confession to you, Eric McCabe.
Uh-oh.
Right here on the air.
This is exciting.
This is exciting.
Do you know?
Nope.
Oh.
I think I may have mentioned it to you on
Oh, okay.
on the drive back or fly back anyway. So
So maybe.
so I knew the Hollows was a wooded course because you told me, and I'd been there. Was it last year or 2 years?
Last year with J Ray.
Right. And I don't particularly like wooded courses, but I'm not particularly good at disc golf. So
Fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So it is some part of my game that I have to obviously get some more improvement, and the way to do that is to play more wooded
Play in the woods.
courses. So anyway, there are times when I remember last year driving through it and looking through it, and I saw a few people play it and stuff like that. That I thought, man, this has got to be a frustrating course. I just could see a bunch of hit and hit and hit and hit and stuff like that.
Don't.
But my eyes were opened when I saw Eric and Ricky and Paige play.
Yeah.
And that's because when you guys threw, there were times, I'm filming it, of course, there were times like, so there's the line.
Yep.
Oh,
so
so you
that's-
just put it the same, like if here are these trees 6 feet apart, just take 3 feet from each side of them and throw the disc there.
In the
Right.
middle. Yes.
Right in the middle.
And so, I mean, there were times where, Paige was taking that deputy and just was like, and it was like,
Yeah.
wow, okay. So if you are good at playing in the woods it actually can be an enjoyable course. And does that make sense?
Yeah. It'll also make you a better player,
right?
Playing that type of course,
right? Because there are times where
you just can't be loose with your tee shots at all.
Correct.
Well, no, because like what I do is like, how do I explain it? So when I play like Jones, which is fairly open, there are times where I'll throw a shot and I'll think, boy, if a tree was there, that would, even though that shot turned out well, if that tree was there, I went way wide. I wonder what it would have been if I had to go straight at it. Right. So, yeah, so it was just something that I made note in my mind that I thought, wow, there are lines there that you just have to know how to look for them. And you obviously got to know how to throw them, which disc to pick to make that line happen for you. So, anyway, it was an enjoyable round to watch.
Yeah, we had a great time throwing it ahead of time and then watching those guys play it during Luck of the Draw.
Yeah, had a great time. So if you guys haven't yet followed, make sure on Facebook you go to Luck of the Draw Skins Match, find that Facebook page, and that's where Ricky and Paige Pierce will be out telling everybody where the next Luck of the Draw will be. I haven't heard any plans specifically where it is. And for you guys that are watching the video now, right now we only have Emporia out. Next up is Anthony's working on Kansas City, and then after Kansas City, you'll see the one from the Hollows. These were kind of experiments, right? They were more experimental. Like, we had an idea of what we want to do. Let's see what happened in Emporia. Then we kind of shifted some stuff. Let's see what happened in Kansas City. And we made even some more changes. Let's see what happened in.
And we're
close.
Hollows. We're not. Like,
it's not perfect yet.
The Hollows. That's how we exactly want to do it from here on out. Right. It's going to change. It's going to vary from course to course. Yeah,
evolve and stuff like that. So anyway, make sure.
But the bones of it, I think, are really fun and good.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. So make sure you follow that page so you know when the next event will be to see if it'll be in your area, and if you think, and more than likely it'll be near or close to when a big event is. That way, it's a little more. Makes a little more sense for Paige and Ricky when they're out there. Makes more sense when they're going to an event to actually stop and go to a certain course and do this. So make sure you follow the Facebook page.
Yeah. So if you live near a national tour stop for next year, or I don't know if they've released a national tour for next year, but
I don't think.
But the perennial type stops, or if you live near where a disc golf pro tour event was this year, I know that they make those high priorities. Or if you're in a location that looks like they would travel between those on their way between events, hit them up on the Facebook page. I know that we've already had a couple of people message and ask if they could run one in their area, and so. Get on the map for them as quickly as possible so that you can maybe set that up.
Absolutely. All right, we are rambling on, so let's
get to
the meat of the matter, the heart of the question.
The heart of the matter question.
The heart of the meat.
The heart of
the meat.
So it's only one question?
Right.
We just have the one question.
Just the one question. No, let's get to the questions, guys. Remember, as always, go to discgolfanswerman.com and send in your questions. You can either send it through SpeakPipe, where we want to hear your voice.
This is a sign language for voice.
Sign language for voice.
Is it?
Actually, no.
It's not.
Clapping.
Yeah, that's applause.
Applause, yes. Or if you want to have it in written form, you can submit it through the Disc Golf Answer Man form. So
that may be typing.
Right.
Who knows?
All right. First one is from
or piano playing.
Rick.
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 What up, Rick?
I think Ricky has a question for us.
I think so.
Needs some help.
Yeah, for sure. Putting.
Being two-time world time,
Hello, Bobby the Full Monty, and it's pronounced Worcester Brown. Eric, I am just Ralphie McCabe's human, McCabe, and Robert Dixon Jowers Light, McCall.
Oh.
This is Rick from Orangevale, California, home of the world-famous Shady Oaks Disc Golf Course and host to the historic...
First of all, let's get real for a second.
Burn.
Let's get real for a second, Rick.
I don't know that I've ever had a worse nickname for Robert.
He nailed me spot on.
Yeah, I'm only Ralph's human.
I'm only Ralph's human,
which is fine.
One, yeah.
Nailed it.
Look, listen here, Rick. Dixon and I are friends, and that's all fine and everything. But I mean, I'm not like a light version of him. I'm an entirely different person. Just want to go on record with that. And then, Bobby. Well, the Full Monty is probably accurate for Bobby.
But when I think of the Full Monty, I think of the movie The Full Monty.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So
let's get on to his question.
Okay, yeah, back to the question.
A-tier and should be NT event, St. Patrick's Classic. Love all that each of you do for the sport. Love everything that Dynamic Disc stands for, and hope one day to travel to the disc golf mecca that is Emporia, Kansas.
Awesome.
Especially around GBO time. As I really do love the DD Plastic and the company, I am in the process of converting as much of my bag as possible to your discs. So many discs, so many to choose from. The Judge, Sheriff, Thief, most recently Freedom, have quickly become regular go-to staples for me. However, I'm having a trouble with a couple specialty disc replacements. I play over water regularly and always like to have at least 2 floating discs, one for up to 250 and one from 250 to 350. Anything over 350 feet, and I better be finding an alternate route. So currently, I bag a Hydra and a sub-140 gram Blizzard Ape for these purposes. 2-part question. Do you have any plastics with a specific gravity less than that of water, so it floats? Or does your air plastic, below a given weight, create the ratio of weight to displacement that will allow it also to float? For example, the aforementioned bubbly disc from your competitor will float below 140 grams. Oh, and Robert, I really do like what you add to the show. Very nice job doing color analysis of the Vibram. I was just kidding about the Dixon Jowers light show. Well, sort of. Not really.
Got him.
I was going to apologize to you, but now I
not
rescind my future apology, Rick. But thank you, by the way.
So I felt like he needed a chalkboard while he was talking about
Yeah.
the gravity and all. Felt like he needed to be able to point that out. Anyway,
Do you know if our air plastic floats?
I don't believe it does. Maybe if it's below like 139 gram or something like that, similar to Blizzard plastic, but I just don't know.
Yeah.
I've never tried.
a few
Right.
years ago, we tried a plastic called Drift, and we were unhappy with it. It did not meet our standards. We ended up having to basically selling those as more like collectors because
Right.
we had them produced, but we didn't like them. And I don't know where we're at as far as even doing it again. I don't even know if, because now that I think about it, the plastics that we've just said we're not going to make anymore so that we can maintain a production level that's in line with our sales level.
Right.
I don't even know if we even visit Drift for a while.
I would kind of doubt
I
it,
have no idea.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough niche to get into because a lot of people are just going to try and trust the disc that they normally throw for a shot like that. And if
Which
they throw
they
it in the
should.
water, yes. And if they throw it in the water, that sucks. But I don't know. I've tried the floating plastic before and just never really liked how it flew personally.
Plus
And I don't have room for that in my bag if that's how it's going to work.
I wonder what pond he's throwing in at Shady Oaks because there is no ponds.
Huh.
Just a little creek. It's like 3 inches deep.
I don't know.
So you have to tell us, Rick.
Rick?
What up, Rick?
Yeah,
so
so
yeah,
I don't know.
we don't have an air plastic, and I know some of you.
We do have an air plastic.
Yes,
I'm
you are
sorry.
false.
I'm sorry. We have an air plastic, but we don't have
Freaking fake news over here, man.
What would you call floating plastic?
Yeah.
We don't have specific floating plastic. So
Unless you can get your hand on some of them drift witnesses.
yeah.
Yeah, they're out there. They feel a little
There's only a few hundred of
strange.
them, right?
I thought there was like another run of them that came in that I don't know, maybe not.
No. Next one comes from Casey. Next one comes from Casey. What's going on here, Casey?
I don't know.
All right, Casey. Unfortunately, it's not allowing me to play. We'll go to Jason.
Hey guys, my question is about staying relaxed when you have a distance driver in your hand. A lot of the time when I pick up that distance driver, I'm trying to throw it way too hard and I tense up and it doesn't go as far as it might go on a casual round hanging out with my buddies. Mentally, I'm good with the putters and the mids and the fairway drivers. I can be relaxed. I can throw it nice and easy and smooth. But the moment I put that distance driver in, it's like trying to go all out. And I've heard Robert say before that he's just worked on being smooth when he was getting good. And I want to know mentally, how do you convince yourself that smooth is more important than hard? Any tips you guys might have would be great. Thank you very much.
I don't know if I ever said I got good, but I just want to get on the record with that. But before one of
I
y'all
heard
hits
you
me
say
with it,
I heard you say
dang
it.
it. Okay, well, whatever.
I have it right here. Let me pull it up.
Pull it up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I think a lot of that is why I kind of took the distance drivers out of my bag.
The super long range
The
stuff.
super long range stuff, which I think is kind of what he's referring to in a way. That's why I just went back to the trespass and am throwing it, not even at 100%, even just like an 80% nice, easy, kind of like I would like a mid-range or a fairway driver, and get very much similar results that I would with a distance driver. Maybe not getting, pure 600-foot distance, but I'm
Right.
getting enough distance out of the disc to do what I need to do.
Yeah, those are going a long way for you.
Yeah,
right
oh
now.
yeah, they are absolutely. So I don't know, maybe that's part of it. Just
Yeah.
toning back and maybe trying something that isn't quite I mean, high speed, so to speak.
Sure. I think the time that I figured out that being smooth was better than like trying to throw super hard is I was playing at Abilene. That's where I learned to play disc golf. Abilene, Texas.
Abilene, Kansas.
Abilene, Texas.
Oh,
and there's
There's
the only
a song.
Is there?
Abilene.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
it's okay.
Before
I like Bobby karaoke. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know how the iPhone, you know how the music plays Bluetooth, like the first song?
Oh yeah.
That forever was the first song. That's why it's stuck in my head.
I gotcha. I've been there as well. It's tough.
Sorry.
The only par 4 on this course that I learned on is about 600 feet, so I knew I was never going to reach it. But
yeah.
in my face. And I was having when I first started, I was having to throw 2 full drives to get there, right? As much as I could on 300 or maybe like 320 if I got lucky, and then same. And that's when I was just trying to throw it literally as hard as I could. And one day I was just like, man, there's got to be a better way than this. And I watched some people who didn't run up very quickly, who didn't move very quickly, who threw farther than me. And so I just said to myself, on this throw, I'm going to do everything slow, keep my body relaxed, keep my hand relaxed. Like I'm going to grip the disc, but not super hard. And I'm only going to speed up when it's time to hit, like at the very, very last of the release point. And I did, and there's a short pin on that hole that's about, I think that's like 390 or 400. And I came up about 20 short of that, which for me at the time was, 40 feet farther than I'd really ever thrown on that hole probably. And so I think it's less... it's counterintuitive, but I think you just have to convince yourself. If you are slow and if you smooth everything out and don't tense up, it makes a huge difference. That made a big jump for me, and so I try and keep that in my game now as well. Even when it doesn't feel mentally like you're trying very hard, the results are more important than how it feels at the time, I guess.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right.
Next question.
Western Kansas.
Oh, okay, yeah, standard.
Right out of nothing. Abilene.
Okay,
Every
stop
ti-
or we have to pay royalties.
I know.
That's right.
So every time I would wouldn't think about it, and I'd get ready to go to work, that's what I'd hear. Dust Bowl.
Fair.
And I'd get mad. All right, sorry. All right, next one.
Thanks,
Let's see if Casey will work. Hold on. I don't know what it is.
Sorry, Casey.
Sorry about you. Let me try it. Maybe if I downloaded it. Let me see. Download to desktop. All right, Casey, we'll come back to you, see if the download will work. This next one's from David from Lawrence, and he says, Rock Chalk.
Rock Chalk.
Rock Chalk.
Hey, Bobby Brown, Eric McCabe, and Robert Best of them all McCall. I recently visited Emporia and went to the Radio Spring.
Did he say best of them all or best of the mall?
Best of them all, I
That's
think.
what it
He did
is,
say
yeah.
best of them all, but he didn't say what he's the best at.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. There could be a lot of things,
Okay.
including malls.
Including shopping malls. More like outlet stores.
Yeah, I'm solid at that. I think I have y'all beat at that.
Company, the DD store, and played a Wednesday night tag round at Jones East. It was
Nice.
a blast. Met Robert McCall out there. He was nice enough to sign one of my wardens, and I appreciate that. Thanks again. My question is about teepads. What are you guys' thoughts on circular teepads and uniquely shaped teepads? The second part of the question is, if you had unlimited resources, what would be the ideal teepad shape in your mind? Thanks, guys. Appreciate the podcast. Take care.
I've designed a
Interesting.
lot of courses, so I'm going to answer this. No, I
Let's
guess.
hear it.
Well, I'll let Eric answer this one.
Well, I think I'd like to hear your opinion on the matter too, though.
Sure.
On your thoughts on have you played on circular teepads?
Where would have circle
But not a
been
lot.
that I've been?
Flower Fountain Hills
Okay.
has them. They have circle tees, and those are they're decent. They're just too small.
Yeah.
If you're going circle, you need to go big. And one good advantage to having a circle teepad is there's not really an end to it.
Right.
So, you can put multiple pin positions. You have a wider angle for multiple pins as opposed to a rectangle that,
That feels weird if you're playing to a different pin.
If
Yeah,
you're playing off to the right or off to the left.
Am I thinking incorrectly to think that would be wasted concrete though.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, to get the right size.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Blue Valley comes to mind. They have some really cool teepads up there. Have you played there?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, but for a lot lot of reasons. But yeah, that's included.
That's
We'll add
number
that to the
3 on the list.
That's number 3. Cool.
Well, their concrete tees are shaped like the hole,
Oh, cool.
which is really kind of cool. So like if it's like hole 1, for instance, is this big hole. It's like big turnover or big hyzer, and then it ends up going straight. So the tee pad kind of curves a little and then comes back out straight, and they're massive.
Okay.
Huge tee pads.
So you could still just run like straight line
Absolutely.
and have plenty. Okay, cool.
Yep. They're really awesome. Those are really cool. I really dig that. And turf tees, I really enjoy turf tees, but when I'm selling a course to a city, it's hard for me to explain to them why they should put in a turf tee over a concrete tee when I tell them, all right, if you do a turf tee, you're going to have to do maintenance on it.
Yep.
At least once a year, you're
Yeah.
going to have to come back in and flatten it and maybe put more sand underneath or whatever it is. That it'll tear. As where concrete, if you do it right, I mean, those are good for years and years and years.
Right.
So, it's really hard to convince a city that's going to be doing the maintaining of a course to not put concrete in. So that's probably my preferred method. It's a little harder on your body, on your knees and whatnot, but I mean, it's the standard. It really is. And I enjoy it. I think just a large enough rectangular shaped concrete tee pad is my preference.
I like exactly like you said. If you're playing a course and it had one tee and one pin put in at the beginning, and then they put in a second tee, and it's off to the side, and then the angle is weird.
Or you mean an alternate pin?
Yeah, sorry, alternate pin. Yeah, I misspoke. I want the tee to be big enough that you could still throw that line and not have to run up from the side or whatever. So
run up off of it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So if you're going to add other pins later on, then I think bigger. Well, and honestly, bigger tees, there's not really a downside.
No, there's really not.
So yeah, those are the types that I like a lot.
They've also got the kind that kind of flare out at the ends that are
I like those.
that are small in the back and then flare out at the front. And then you have other courses that have it the opposite way, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
To flare out at one end and then go to small. You like those, Bobby?
Well, the ones that flare out at the end.
Yeah.
Those seem to make more sense to me.
See, they feel backwards to me, but it's not. But they don't bother me. It's
Yeah.
just like
So you'd
I don't
rather
know.
them be
It's if
an
they're
acute angle?
I wouldn't rather them be, but like it looks, if they're wider on the back and slimmer in the front, it looks like it's an arrow pointing
Yes.
toward where you're
Agreed.
going.
Agreed.
Now, logically, that makes sense. But if you're actually throwing, the wider front I think is better for sure.
Either way. I mean, that's why I think you just go wide enough. Like 5 feet wide
Yeah.
is a great size.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
then just keep it like that. There's a course in Austin called Roy G. Guerrero that has
I thought you were going to say Roy G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv. That's right. That's how we remember our colors of the rainbow. That has, and a lot of courses around. A lot of different places have this, but just extra rocks and things around the tee that just make it look nice.
that you can slip and break.
Well, no, you're never going to tee off of those.
Oh, okay.
But just
No,
like
I get it,
concrete,
like after it.
yes,
Yeah.
and
So
I think those just look just
to help with
aesthetically, aesthetically really pleasing tees. I like ones like that, but otherwise, I mean, any concrete is good as long as it's not too short or too narrow.
What about like Lake Louisville?
Lake Louisville has
Runways.
runways. Yeah.
Runways.
For like, do you remember? Did you play with Chris Vandegrift ever?
Yes.
When he did the hop and skip and
hop,
hop
skip,
and
jump,
run, throw.
Yep.
Yeah,
X
those were the only tees in the world fit for him at the time. So
And he
shout out.
still started off behind him.
Yes, he did. Yeah. So shout out to you, Griff. Also, by the way, we've talked about the hurricane in Houston a little bit, Bobby, and Chris Vandegrift is putting together a raffle and an event for to donate to people who are still hurting in the area and who are still trying to
Awesome.
recover for that. And so shout out to him. We're sending some stuff down for them.
Very
But
cool.
Big shout out to that guy. He's a cool dude. And we like to give him a hard time about his very long run up.
Yeah. Him and James Conrad.
Yeah. James, dude, he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he is.
Anyway,
So, something that I want to talk briefly about that's brand new that I'm very excited about is the new Dynamic Discs Trooper bag.
yeah,
Just got released last Friday. And the reason I want to talk about it is that I want to make sure
'Cause it's
people...
awesome?
Well, it's awesome, for one thing. Beautiful, beautiful, exceptional price point at $39.99.
for sure.
Very nice looking
Quality.
bag. Quality bag.
OGO quality.
OGO quality. But I want to make sure people understand what the purpose of this bag. The purpose of the bag is not for to be a touring bag.
I'm going to use it as a touring bag.
Well, the purpose of it is
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
it's
just
not that you
joking.
can't use it
No,
as a touring
absolutely.
bag.
Absolutely
But
not.
the purpose is it basically if if someone's like new to the game, new to disc golf, and doesn't want to invest quite the money in a top tier bag, but wants the comfort of a backpack style bag,
yeah.
and have room for a good amount of discs, then that's what the Trooper is good for. It's a very good entry level bag. So I just want to make sure, because I watch Facebook and I watch people as they talk about stuff, and I want to make sure people just understood that that's the purpose of the bag. So anyway, it'll hold roughly
22 or so.
Right, 22 or so
Total.
discs. Now,
It depends. Maybe you carry more drivers, then you
Right.
can fit a little more. in
Yeah,
there.
maybe so.
depending on how many molds you have, if you really shoved 20 some odd discs in there, the ones on the end might be a little tricky to get out. You can still get them out, but they'll be tricky. So I'm guessing a good comfortable is going to be anywhere from 14 to 17 discs to just be nice sitting in there. And then, of course, about from 2 to 4 putters up top. So you could have your putting putters and your driving putters, because just like Eric McCabe always says, don't throw your putting putters.
Yes.
So you've got your putting putters and your driving putters, or your throwing putters up top. And then, of course, it's got big enough on the side for a drink. I think you can fit a 32-ounce
Huge.
Nalgene bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
Or your 32-ounce Gatorade.
It'll
Powerade.
accommodate basically any bottle that most people use today.
Right. And then on the other side, it's going to have a nice sized little pocket for maybe your wallet, your keys, scorecard, cell phone, or if you want to be a little more discreet, on the side in the back, it's kind of a little side zipper pocket. Well, maybe that's where you want to put your keys and your wallet. So it's a little more out of the way of everything else.
Right.
And then let's see what else has it got. Now, it's got the shoulder pads. Now, they're not quite as foam padded as your Ranger bag.
Right.
But there's still a little bit of foam for some comfort on there and stuff like that. So if you're looking for if you're new to the game or don't have a backpack style bag yet and you're looking for one, the Trooper is a nice entry-level bag for you. My purpose, I already have a cart. I already have a Ranger bag that's awesome. But I wanted something that if I was going to Bartlesville real quick and the car's full of grandkids and grandkids stuff, I can't carry my cart in there. So I'm going to grab my Trooper, throw my essential discs in there and a few essential things, then I'm going to take it with me to the course. And it's perfect, nice and lightweight. Or if you just want a second bag for shorter course and don't need a cart to take around with you, grab that bag, throw your discs in there, and you're good to go. So,
Yeah, Derek brought a few of them up to the Shore Winds event, Shenanigans.
Oh, nice.
This past weekend, and Dusty bought one from him, Dustin Fournier.
Fournier, okay.
And myself, him, and Todd all went out and played around. And I was checking out the bag, and I really like it. I'm excited to get one for Hammond Park Ground.
Right, or just kicking
even,
around, right.
Even any of the courses in town. Just throw some discs in there and let's go. Yeah, I'm
So good
excited
stuff.
about it.
So-
Yeah, especially when you don't need extra storage, really. Like,
Yeah.
that's where this bag isn't going to be quite as good as like a Ranger or a Commander or something like that. If you're not going to have to stuff a jacket in there or a bunch of extra stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So anyway, just want to do a quick plug in there, guys. Check out the Dynamic Disc Trooper bag, available now. It's kind of like a gray, dark gray with a green, blue, or red accent colors on there. So
sure.
good stuff.
I'll say this super fast. I've been using a cart for a little while now because, getting old. Back hurts, knees hurt, so that sort of thing. But when we went on this trip to Boston and Maine and New Hampshire, I know we talked about it a little bit, but I hadn't carried a Ranger in a long time. And I was honestly really surprised again at just how comfortably it sat.
Awesome it is.
Honestly, I know that I work here, and yes, I get paid by Dynamic Discs. I wouldn't say this if I didn't actually believe it about the product, but I enjoyed carrying the Ranger to the point where when we got back and I played tags on Wednesday, I mean, I had my cart in my car, and I still carried my Ranger. Like it was really comfortable. I like it a lot.
And those people who aren't watching, he's actually wearing the Ranger
That's right.
right now.
Yeah, yeah. Since then, I just carry it all the time.
Even in bed.
Yeah, it seemed important.
It did. It did.
That's right.
Good job.
Oh, shower? Yeah, Ranger. Perfect.
Yeah, way to be a company man.
Yeah. Here
All
to
right,
help.
so let's see if we can get Casey's question on here. Let's see if the download worked. Are you ready, Casey? Here we go. That's why I wouldn't play, because it's not going to work. Yep. Sorry,
Cool.
Casey.
Sorry,
I'm not sure
Casey.
what happened, but for some reason your question did not come through.
Send it in again.
Try it
Resubmit
again.
that thing.
All right, let's jump to Andrew.
What's up, Disc Golf Answer Man crew? I have 2 questions for you guys today. So the first question is a happy question, and that is, which of you guys are big snackers out on the course? And for those of you who do like to snack, my personal favorite's trail mix, just good old classic trail mix. But I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on that. Second question. So this weekend I played a tournament out in Kyle, Texas, and I practiced the course a couple times the week before and figured out my shot on every hole, figured out what I was going to do to give myself the best chance to score well. Felt really confident going into the tournament and just had a disaster tournament. Didn't really play well at all any of the rounds. And so really just wanted to see if y'all had any advice for bouncing back. I've got another tournament coming up this week in Memphis, Tennessee, and looking to do better there. So I just wanted to hear from you guys. Appreciate all that you do. The show is awesome. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
So you were nodding your head, Robert. You have a lot of disaster rounds?
I have a lot of
I
disaster
just thought
rounds.
he had a lot of snacks.
Yeah. I was just in agreement with everything. No, I've played the course that he's talking about in Kyle. It's
Oh, okay.
it's south of Austin. We can talk snacks first and then
Yeah,
move
do
on
your
to that.
snacks.
Snacks on snacks on snacks.
Okay. I don't snack a whole lot on the course. If I'm going to, I'll carry a Cliff Bar or something. I like the ones that are the peanut butter with actual peanut butter inside it. Those are my favorites.
But what do you mean?
What? There's 2 different types. There's one that's like a peanut butter flavored. It's got
Oh, did you say the
peanuts.
brand already?
Yeah, Cliff Bar.
I'm sorry. My
Yeah.
bad. I
Yeah.
thought you just said, I like the things with peanut butter in them. I'm like,
You see, I don't.
Reese's
there's
peanut butter
nothing.
cups?
anything with peanut butter
That's
inside of it.
right. There's nothing written on the
Even a
outside.
jar of peanut butter
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it has peanut butter in it.
Yeah, it just says bar,
Right.
and then that's what I take. No, it's a Cliff Bar.
But you don't like just the peanut butter one, right? There's another one that you like.
I mostly just like the peanut butter ones.
I thought you liked the Nutter butter.
What?
That's a cookie.
Isn't that different?
Isn't
You're
a
talking
Nutter
about
butter
the one with peanut butter inside?
Isn't that a cookie?
You're recapping exactly what I just said about 30 seconds ago. Like
I'm
literally word for word.
I'm paying attention to the Mevo. My
Yeah,
bad.
that's okay. Whatever. Go ahead, Eric. What snacks do you like? Let's see if Bobby can make fun of yours or ask more questions or something. I'm just kidding, man. Go ahead.
Oh man. I'm
I'm sorry.
I'm really not a snacker on the course. The only time that I will is if
I like
I'm
how you put
playing
on the course.
yeah, that's true. A grueling, like super long tournament round where there's going to be a lot of backups and it's going to take 3 to 4 hours, something like that. Then
Like
I'll
if you
throw,
tee at 11, maybe.
Yeah. Well, like at Vibram, every round I teed it after 1. So it's like right around, you don't want to eat a lunch, blah, blah, blah. But no, I really don't. I'll throw in some granola bars of some sort, whatever we get at the store that week.
Yeah,
Nothing
just
like
handy.
I don't have like a go-to, like maybe a banana is always good. I'll put a banana in the bag and I won't touch it. I'll have snacks in my bag and I won't touch them.
Yeah.
And then I go to clean the bag out like a week or 2 later and I'm like, oh, look, snacks.
Oh,
So I don't know.
this
I'm
would have
just-
been nice.
How's that banana look?
I'm more of a drinker on the course of water.
I was like, wow.
I'm more of a water guy. So
Colt
I fill
45?
up my 40 ounce Hydro flask and go.
Nice.
Just drink water.
I'm a snacker, but I don't know that I do it much on the course. Of course, I don't really play it. Like I don't really do tournaments where you really need a
Well,
snack.
what do you snack on when you're filming?
when I'm
Do you have
filming?
anything like that?
I like trail mixes and granola bars. I do like Laura bars.
Yeah.
Those are good. Sometimes I get mad at myself because I don't bring enough water.
Yep.
I'll think I'll be okay. It feels fine. It's not that hot out, but you don't realize
Always
that
drink water. See, I'm the opposite. I'll always have water on me.
Yeah, I always forget. Or when we go on like our disc golf adventures or something like that are local, I'll forget to bring a water. Everybody's got their water bottle.
Yeah.
And I'm like an hour. I'm like, oh, is that?
And then you're just sad.
Right. Then I'm just sad.
Shoulders slumped. You can't tell from behind the camera, but we can tell looking at you.
Wasn't there a second part to his question?
Yes.
No.
Yes. He was talking about. He had a rough weekend at Kyle.
He was confident going into the weekend.
Yeah, practiced all his shots.
Yep, practiced well and didn't perform.
Yeah. So how do you turn around from something like that?
Man, it's tough to turn around from it, but I think he's kind of asking for advice on how to take your practice game to the actual tournament. And one way that I've been successful doing it is just lowering my expectations.
Sure.
Not going into it obviously saying, "Well, I just hope I play and finish."
You can accomplish that goal.
I can do that. I can do that goal, but maybe set realistic goals for yourself for the event. All I want to do is average a rating.
Sure.
Average my rating at the end of the week and be happy with how I perform. Even sometimes I'll be happy with how I perform, but I'm not too thrilled on how the ratings came out because ratings are like a roller coaster ride.
Sure.
So most of the time I'm just kind of, more focused on shot for shot, and being happy with how I performed as opposed to worrying about an overall experience of the event.
Yeah.
Ways to get through it. It's tough. I mean, it's mental. It's all mental. So having, like we talk about a lot, is having the short memory, not thinking about anything that has already happened. If you took a 5 on the previous hole, here's a good example. Hole 1 at Vibram Open.
This is a really good example.
My first hole, like I wasn't like overly confident in the event, but I was like,
you've been playing well lately,
good.
though.
Yeah, I've been playing pretty good at home and around town or around Kansas and whatnot. And so, yeah, going into the event, my practice rounds all went well, and I had a game plan, and I was going to stick to it, and I was feeling confident going into the Vibram Open, and I built a snowman on the first hole.
The old classic snowman.
Yes.
The hot 8.
Yes, and wow.
It's a par 4.
It is a par 4, and everybody else on my card for'd it.
Okay.
So that's a little rough. And I actually came back at the end of the round and almost won the card. I
Yeah.
think Drew beat me by 1. Other than that, I won the card. So that's pretty solid.
Yes.
Considering I was able to shake off that bad hole, that bad score, and not worry about it. Maybe after the round worry about it.
Sure.
But until then, we'll just concentrate on shot for shot. Now I ended up getting. I was almost back to even by hole 9.
Yeah.
That round. So
Which is impressive at that course, by the way.
Yeah.
There are not like you kind of have to press for birdies out there. They don't really just come to you if
Exactly.
you're a little loose with your shots. And so catching those birdies, I mean, that's a big turnaround.
Yeah, exactly. And being able to just play shot for shot and not worry about what happened or what's coming up, just playing, what's at hand and what's right in front of me, I was able to fight back and shoot under par that round.
Yeah.
So
That was It was cool to watch from our side because
Sure.
all we saw was 8
8.
and then par and then hey, some birdies.
I like to tell people I just showed up late.
That's right.
I missed the first
Took par
hole.
plus 4.
Par plus 4, took an 8 and
then turned it around.
and then played well. Had
Yeah.
I been there
What the heck? I probably would have 3'd it.
on time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's man. Having a tough tournament round, especially when you've practiced well on the course, it's a real downer. And so for me, as much as possible, I like to not putt my drives. I think we talked about this a little last week. I like to not putt my drives in practice rounds so I don't really have a score to keep up with. Because then instead of lowering my expectations, I just don't have any expectations.
So when you're playing, you throw a shot on hole 1.
Yeah.
Do you pick up your drive and kind of move to a different spot and throw a couple putts?
Yeah. Just to kind of feel it out.
So
Make
you're not-
sure my putting stroke is
Yeah,
good.
exactly. You're still putting.
Sure.
You're just not keeping score and putting from
Right,
your-
from my exact lie. Yeah. So I like that to kind of keep my expectations tempered, I guess. But then if you're moving from a bad tournament to the next tournament, man, the only thing that I can tell you is just exactly like we talked about last week, the mentality of just keeping your eyes forward, right? How you played last week doesn't have any bearing on how you play next week. How you played last throw has no bearing on how you play next throw. I mean,
Exactly.
you can dissect it as small as that and get to the place where whatever just happened doesn't matter to how you're playing, because you're not playing bad, you're not playing good. You threw a bad shot, now you have another shot.
Yep.
You threw a good shot, now you have another shot.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, piecing it out shot by shot, I think, is super important, and having that short memory where whatever just happened back there, it's already back there. I'm keeping my eyes forward.
Yep.
That's what I think.
Good.
All right. Speaking of what you think, what do you got for us this week, Mr. Robert McCall?
Oh, you mean for a quick tip?
Yes, sir.
I was ready to talk about anything, but
No,
No.
whatever you got.
And
just
before,
just say some
talk.
stuff.
well, before you go,
Yeah.
if our listeners, if they enjoy reading about quick tips,
Yeah.
Robert McCall has been doing a regular series on the Dynamic Discs blog. So you can go to dynamicdisc.com. In the upper right corner, near the corner, there will be a blog link, and you can go there, and you should be able to search the tag either Quick Tips, Tips, or McCall, and you'll see all the articles that Robert has put up there. I think there's like 6 or 7 now.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Is should we call it a McCall minute?
McCall, no. There will
No.
always be the McCabe minute.
Yeah, that's
And-
copyright.
and yeah.
It is.
So, but anyway, if you like to read about tips, you can check that out. But if you like to listen,
Here it
Here
is.
you go.
And I try to talk about different things on the podcast than I write about on the blog.
Right.
So a couple of different places that you can get some information. Who knows if it's good or not? We'll find out. So
you'll know
To
at
be
your next
determined.
performance appraisal.
that's right. when you and I sit down at the end of the year,
Right. Yep.
these 3 blogs, those were pretty good.
I'll
the
be
rest
there
of
as
these,
well.
garbage.
Right.
Garbage.
So,
What is this?
yeah. So I went out and played doubles with some of our other friends here in town at Hammond. Hammond is a short little course here in town. For me, I throw a putter on every hole.
Ooh, look at me.
And yeah, because I'm the strongest. I throw a putter on every hole there, and we were playing with guys and girls were partnered up, and one of the things that I saw from the people who are a little less experienced in disc golf is a lot of times when they're putting, they don't pay a lot of attention to the nose angle of their putter. I understand why, because you're just trying to make it in the basket or trying to get close or whatever. But I heard one of the girls in our group say that she was putting nose down because Ricky Wysocki puts nose down. Okay. Which, yes, Ricky is the best putter in the world. I think bar none. He is always going to have a look if he's in his regular stance. However, what works for Ricky may not work for you. Okay, he puts nose down, but his arm comes up so fast and he has such a strong follow through that he gets those putts to reach the basket on a nose down angle. So even if he misses, he's going to be close. If you're having trouble getting your putter to the basket, but you're putting nose down because that's what Ricky does, and this is what I told her as well, is change your nose angle, right? I putt slightly nose up. That's how I've putted for.
I've always putted.
Yeah,
nose up.
since I've switched from more of a pitch putt to a push putt, and the reason for that is I'm giving my putter a chance to get to the basket. Now, if it's a headwind, I'm not going to putt super nose up. I'm certainly not going to putt very hard because I'm not trying to 3-putt. But if you're having trouble making your putts, pay a lot of attention to your nose angle, because if it's nose down and you're never giving it a chance to get to the basket, that's fine from maybe 40 or 50 if you're just starting out, because you want to get up and down and 2 from there. That's fine. But if, 15 feet, 20 feet, if you're never giving the putter a chance to get to the basket, something to consider, change that nose angle a little bit and give the disc a chance to fly instead of just kind of drop like a weight.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Robert McCall.
Thank you.
All right, next question comes from John.
What's up, Disc Golf Answer Man crew? Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, Eric. I like the Convict because it's like a longer EMAC. McCabe, fair, and Robert.
Fact.
He's gonna win that bet. You better believe it. McCall.
Better believe it.
What's the bet?
So my question for you guys: I'm curious if you have ever ran a line of fluid felons. I have what I am
Yes.
convinced is a fluid felon, judging mostly by the feel, how gummy, flexible it is, and it's still pretty overstable for it saying 169. I have had a 167 lucid felon that was also very, very stable, so, variables. Ugh. Anyways, what do you guys think is the likeliness of this actually being a fluid felon? I'm judging just off of feel and flight, and from what I've heard about fluid plastic. To give a little maybe insider help, It is a tournament stamp, custom tournament stamp, Lancaster area Frisbee Sports, and Mr. Disc Golf Crosstown Shootout. Little shout out to Mike Solt. I know you guys love him. I love him too. He's my main TD for all the events in my area. Huge shout out to Mike, and huge shout out to you guys. I mean, you, Mike, everybody that I know of at the DD family is just out of this world. So thanks again. Keep it real, guys.
Thank you for that, John. Yes, absolutely. Mike Solt, if you're in the area of a Mike Solt event, you definitely need to check it out because he does good things. Speaking of Mike Solt,
Right. Pocono Raceway.
Pocono Raceway, here in a couple weeks, all three of us, including Jeremy Rusko, will be making our way to
Maybe.
Pennsylvania. Maybe?
I might be there.
Erickson, maybe now.
Yeah. There's a trade show
Oh,
in
that's
New
true.
Orleans
Other duties.
on
hey.
like Monday.
Yeah.
So that's.
Well,
But
some
send me
of
the
us
flight
will-
info because I need to
I will be there.
figure that out.
Yes.
Some of
Oh,
us
yeah,
will
yeah,
be
yeah.
there for the disc golf experience at Pocono Raceway. It'll be the second year for Mike Solt, and he's
sure I'll
gone
be there.
bigger and badder.
Bigger, badder, better.
Bigger, better, better. So it's going to be an amazing time. Of course, I'll be down there to do some filming and create a video for it and stuff like that. So should be a good time. If you're in the Pennsylvania, what is it? Where?
Pennsylvania.
If you're in the Pennsylvania area,
Philadelphia area.
you can go to Disc Golf Scene and search Pocono Raceway,
Scranton.
and you'll be able to find it. So
Scranton, PA. That was strange, by the way. Driving
I've
around.
driven through there
Yes.
many times.
Okay,
Through Scranton. Like
okay,
right
yes.
through the
Tell
heart
them
of
the
Scranton.
story.
All of us are Office fans. The Office, right?
Of course.
And quote it all the time, talk about it all the time, bring it up all the time. And it was really strange. I hadn't traveled up to the Northeast very much. We went to Vermont last year, but we were basically in and out.
Yeah.
So it was pretty strange for us to be up near Pennsylvania, and then we stopped and stayed one night in Nashua, and I had never heard of that except for on The Office. And so yeah, it was pretty cool to see Scranton on the map, Nashua on the map. I think I saw Utica just kind of out of nowhere, and so anyway, that's where that's from.
Did you get my Snapchat?
Yes,
Where
yeah,
was-
we were. Yeah, you were in Nashua.
I
and you
was in
said, I
Nashua.
wonder if Holly lives here.
Yes.
So anyway, if
was
you
awesome.
watch The Office, you know what we're talking
yeah, I
about.
was never more insulted when Robert came up to in the office one day and said, "Hey, do you watch The Office?"
Oh.
You should have seen the look on my face.
You've never been more insulted than that, ever.
That is
Ever
that day.
That is a pretty big insult.
Well, yeah,
that
just-
day.
Some people are firmly against it.
I was like,
I'm firmly against those people, but still. Anyway,
So, do we
talk,
not-
talk about the fluid felon.
Yeah,
100% probably is a fluid felon.
It's 100% most
that
likely.
it's 100% that it's probably no. I would say yes. It's probably a fluid felon.
Yeah.
we did have a run of fluid felons for TFRs for a while.
tournament fundraiser.
That's what those are, and I would guarantee Mike Solt would have got some of those. So yes, you probably have a fluid felon. Those are going to be really hard to come by now,
Yep.
since that plastic is OOP for the at least next year.
Yeah, he gone.
It may come back. You never know.
So
You
let's-
think we'll ever come
oh,
out with fluid fugitives?
I don't know. The double OOP
The double
connection
OOP.
PP.
Uh-oh.
out of production.
Out of.
Production. So out of production. So what? If you're not signed up for our newsletter, you need to be, and you'll be in the know. But what happened was it was decided to have a few plastics go out of production to make way so that we can keep up with production levels. So it got a little bit of pushback from a few people, but not so much. I think a lot of people understood that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the plastics that we did, one of them at least, the fluid moonshine.
yeah.
I don't know how many times I've walked through the warehouse and seen the same
Stacks on stacks
of
on stacks.
fluid moonshine escapes and whatever else. But yeah,
It's just one of those things that some people think they said they needed it, but not enough people said they needed it.
Stock
and
up.
So stock up.
they
and
are
get it.
available now, so stock up.
All right, so that's all the time we have for this speak pipe question, but we got a few minutes, so we'll read a few from the form. If you guys are okay with that.
No.
I personally am not okay with it.
All right, I'll answer them all on my own.
Yes, perfect. I want to hear Bobby's answers to
Yes,
these.
me too. Should
All
we ask them?
I can't
He
move the
thought about
computer.
it. He's
Yeah,
like,
well, I was
wait,
like, how do I move the computer?
Super jammed up for
I
a
know,
second.
so- all right. All right, first one comes from Caleb. Caleb asks, how does extreme heat or cold influence the type of plastic you throw? No. See, I can't even ask the question right.
Yeah.
I already had it formulated in my head.
You already had the answer?
Yeah. How does extreme heat or cold influence the type of disc you throw? What tips would you give to beat the heat and ultra sweaty hands? Also, how does elevation influence the different type of discs you might throw? Thanks for your help and keep it real.
Sweet.
Lots of variables he's
Lots
asking
of
about.
them. Well, I mean, first
Oh,
off.
I thought I was answering the question.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, please. Please, Bobby.
What would you say, Eric? No.
That is technically.
I think, if I remember correctly, from past episodes, is that if it's colder, it's more stable. So you want to keep that in mind when you choose which one you want to throw.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you
I
off the top.
I don't know that it's. Go ahead.
I've already screwed up.
Well, I don't know that it's more overstable. I think you just don't throw as hard.
Yeah.
So therefore, it seems to fly a little bit more overstable.
See?
Okay.
No. False.
No, I don't think stability has much to do with weather. I think it has more to do with elevation, right?
It has everything to do with elevation.
Yeah, you can tell an obvious difference throwing an escape where we are here in Kansas and an escape in the Rocky Mountains.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to
the
be
Rockies.
Yeah. That John Denver. Anyway, so yeah. In elevation, things are going to fly considerably more overstable than they at higher elevation than they will at lower elevation. So that's elevation. That's just what you have to remember. The higher up you are, the more stable
What
things are
about
going to
below
be.
sea level?
Great question. Everything is a roller. It's crazy.
Everything is a roller.
Yeah, it's strange.
a
If you
stiletto
ever
roller?
throw underwater, yep, that's exactly right. No, with the cold, I think the only disc changes that I make is that I won't throw as much of the classic hard plastic because they feel just a lot harder when it's cold. I'll usually, if it's cold enough, I'll putt with blend wardens instead of classic hard wardens, and I certainly won't throw my classic hard wardens just for fear that they would break when they hit a tree. That hasn't happened to me personally, but I've seen people crack discs on trees when they throw in the cold.
I haven't seen too many people crack our discs.
Yeah, agreed.
To be honest,
Agreed. I'm just saying, like, that's now something that I'm scared of.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
because I've watched it happen. I watched this was one of the saddest moments that I've seen in a while. I watched one of the old CE rocks from 2001.
01.
Worked in, flying beautifully, hit a tree and just shatter.
Was it Jay Redding?
It was.
I cracked a cyclone in half once.
Yeah. That was just from your power.
That's
though.
taken out of context. Can you imagine if somebody was listening to the show and didn't know what?
Yeah,
And
what
I just
disc golf
happened to
was.
say, I cracked a cyclone in half once.
So what? I'm a storm chaser.
Cool.
That's what I do. Anyway.
That's sick.
Next one comes from Jason.
And
To be
moving
fair,
on.
I was going to answer it quick on the cold. I just don't play in the cold weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fair weather.
That's what you. What was it? I think it was Kansas City. Someone said, "What do you do when you play in the rain?" Yeah. It went from Ricky to Paige, and Eric was like, "I don't play in the rain."
I don't play in the rain.
Thank you for asking. I choose not to.
So, all right, next one is from Jason. Hey guys, do you have any suggestions on how to gauge if a disc matches your arm speed? For example, I can throw my trespass a consistent 380 feet in a straight line, but how do I know if that is far enough for that kind of distance driver? The inbounds disc golf chart suggests that a trespass should fly 430. I'm happy to disc down for best results, but how do I know if I should? Thank you for everything you do. P.S. Robert, thanks for the tip about keeping the nose angle down. I picked up 30 feet and straightened out my throws.
Dope.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't think there's necessarily a universal chart out there anywhere that's 100% accurate on every single player that somebody could go to and say, oh, wow, well, this says I should be throwing this disc this far, so I should be able to throw this disc this far. To me, it's all about just grabbing it and throwing it and seeing how it flies for you, because obviously that disc is going to fly different for me than it is, well, maybe not Robert. Maybe not as big of a difference between like myself and Bobby as opposed to me and Robert.
Right.
I would like to honestly, I think a great video would be myself and Bobby go out and play a round of disc golf, record it,
With the same disc?
but we switch bags.
Switchbacks, yeah.
And then to see, like what your average is on a course, what my average is on a course, and then play it and see what the score is and see how you are able to handle like my overstable bag. Because my bag is mostly, I mean, I've got a Renegade in there that you could probably throw, but everything else, you're not going to get a lot of distance out of probably.
Right.
And then vice
most
versa.
of his,
like,
you hyzer flip.
yeah, I would have to hyzer flip or tone back a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a cool video just to kind of get
Kinda
an
interesting, yeah.
idea. But
But if I would say to this gentleman, if you're throwing a trespass straight for 380,
That's awesome.
that's great. Keep throwing it for that. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I think that is a good disc for your arm speed if you're throwing it straight for that amount of time. Now, is there a universal way to know if a disc is good for your arm speed? Not really. But I would certainly say anything under that, you should be able to work in the way that it's intended to, unless it's something way overstable, right?
Plus, if you're throwing a trespass 380 on a straight line, I'm gonna suggest you pick up a Bio Enforcer.
Yeah. Hey, that'll give you a little bit of left finish, but yeah, similar lines.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, these guides and inbound, I know they do a great job, and it really is helpful. The numbers and all this stuff, they're guides, but it just
like flight numbers.
Yeah,
They're generalities,
right. I caution people, and I tell people, take caution or take heed, and not to make these things as Bible, because just because inbound says the trespass should be thrown 430 feet doesn't mean because you're not doing that doesn't mean it's not a good disc for you.
Correct.
And you're not doing things correctly. It's not like I have to throw it 430 feet, otherwise it's useless.
Right. And I don't even think that's what inbounds is trying to say
No,
either.
no. But people read into
Correct.
that. And that's what I think. You got to be careful. I understand these things are guides, and I understand that we need them, and that's how people shop and how people compare. And I totally get that. But don't get so stuck on it that you miss out on another disc that could do so much for you.
Agreed.
That's why we try to do videos like, is this disc right for you, where Eric throws it and myself throws it. There's only one person it's not for, and it's the one that left a comment that said these videos are stupid because nobody can throw as good as Eric McCabe, and Bobby can't throw worth crap.
Nobody can throw.
That is rude.
So for that one guy, those videos are not for you.
Yeah.
Everybody
Wait,
else
wait,
everyone
but-
else.
that
but
has
let's-
an
let's-
open mind,
Let's be honest here. That guy said that nobody can throw like me.
right?
I mean, come on.
So you like him? Is that
totally-
what it-
totally true.
He's absolutely accurate.
Yeah, that's right. This is the best thrower in the world.
I
And he
wish I
said
could
you
find
throw
that.
like crap.
He said something to that effect.
Wow.
Oh, I wish I could find that comment.
What a cool bro.
Those are your typical internet
Keyboard warrior.
keyboard warriors.
I want to find it, but
They're
I
the
can't
best.
find it.
You know what? Let's move on to another question. Let's
I
not
know, but it was
give that guy any more credit
It
than he
was
needs.
so funny. I laughed. These they give me a lot of laugh. Now some people are rude on here. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
where are we at?
Let's do
next
another
question.
question, Bobby.
Let's do some questions on the Disc Golf Answer Man Show.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got? All right, we're hitting about almost an hour, so we will do one last question. This one's from Jack. Howdy, guys. I've heard a lot about molds recently and want to know what that references. Is it different discs or different plastics of the same discs? Oh, thanks for answering all of our questions. So when people talk about molds, what are they talking about?
All right.
Molds.
So when we talk about
When water sits
When
in a place
cheese-
for too long. Oh, cheese. With cheese.
that's right. When we're talking about molds, we mean any plastic type of the same disc, right? So if I'm talking about I carry, this is a random number. I don't know if this is right, but let's say I carry 15 molds in my bag. That means
that's a
that
lot of molds.
I know I'm very indecisive. That means that I would count. I currently carry 4 Wardens, but that would just be, I would say, Warden is 1 mold, and then I carry 3 EMAC Truths. Well, the EMAC Truth is just
not
1
enough,
mold.
Robert.
I know. I need to improve it. But when we talk about molds, that's what we're talking about. It's no matter what plastic it is, no matter how many you carry, I carry this many molds, right? So that's kind of what I think we're referring to.
Yeah. I think that's well put.
Cool. Bobby, let's do one more question.
One more.
You sure?
That was quick.
You guys got time?
That was quick.
All
We
right.
got time.
I got
These
nothing.
guys are just selfless. Next one comes from Jared. Hello, Bobby Slick and EMAC. Big fan from Michigan. My question today is, are there any courses in Michigan that either of you can recommend as a must play? Myself and a good friend whom I just got into the sport are heading up towards Traverse?
Traverse City.
I was thinking of the Chevy Traverse. On a disc golf road trip and would love to hear of any must-try golf courses in the state of Michigan.
Ooh, on the way there.
Thanks, and keep being amazing.
I'm not sure. Where's he coming from?
I just deleted the question.
Okay.
Sorry.
either way, if he's going up toward the north, I haven't played a whole lot of courses in Michigan. I've played a lot in Ann Arbor area, Grand Rapids. A lot of great courses in that area. Kalamazoo has a bunch of good courses. Traverse City actually has a really cool course. Jake Newell, you know Jake, used to be. I don't know if he's still on Team DD or not,
He's not listed on the website,
but he's in the family.
If he was wearing his shirt, I'd be like, that belongs.
Yeah, absolutely. He actually, get this, he won not the Great Lakes Open. What is that tournament up there that they run? The U.S. Amateurs.
Oh yeah,
He won that tournament throwing all gateway.
wow.
Yeah, like an entire gateway bag, like
Dang.
drivers, everything.
This would have been before they had a more complete line
Yep,
too.
this
right?
was quite a while. I
Yeah.
couldn't.
All right.
all right.
That it?
That's it.
One more.
One more.
One
Eric
more.
McCabe calling the shots.
One more.
We got one more. This one is from Anonymous.
Oh, this is probably a good one.
This one's specific. The first question is two questions. The first one specifically for Mr. Eric McCabe.
Okay.
Have you played Cam Jam? Do you like it? And are you good at it?
Oh.
Can Jam.
Yes, yes, and yes.
I would see you being very good at Can Jam.
I'm pretty good at Can Jam.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
Typically, when I play Can,
Got him.
Are you kidding me? Did you just ask me if I knew what Cam Jam
No,
was?
that's only because we had the discussion earlier about The Office, and I wanted to see if I could get you. Mission accomplished.
Yes, mission accomplished.
Gotcha.
when I play Can Jam, I don't try to hit the slot ever. I just try to have a good partner that I can just
Should we try to explain Can Jam to our listeners in case they don't know?
Google it.
Can Jam
Can Jam.
is like
you have two cans.
two
and you
two
jam
cans.
them.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
K-A-N.
Where are we going with this?
K-A-N.
Can.
Put the kids to bed.
Yeah. They look like short trash cans. There's a slot in the front,
Yeah.
Open tops. You throw an ultimate type frisbee across. It's a little bit different, but same.
It's pretty weak.
Yes, quite weak. That's true.
Yeah.
And if your partner who's standing by the trash can that you're throwing to, if they hit it into the side of the can, then it's 1 point. If they hit it into the
Pop it in.
yeah, if they pop it in, it's 3 points. If you hit it on your own without them touching it, it's 2 points. If your partner throws it straight into the slot in the front of the can,
Game over.
you automatically win the game. That's one of the reasons I love that game because
Is
automatic win.
Is there a how many points is it? Because I know there's
I think
different
21.
rules. But no, I was going to say, how many points is it if you make it in the top without anybody touching it?
I think it's still only 2 because I think your partner has to touch it for it to go in the top. But I could be way wrong.
So
I haven't had that happen.
If your partner
before.
touches it through the top, it's worth 3.
Yes.
And it's less if you actually make it.
That's what I think.
Your rules are stupid.
That's like I said. I am probably wrong on that one. That's
I
just
don't
what
know if
somebody
that's true or
told
not,
me.
But yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, go on.
so Can Jam.
It's kind of like
I could see-
horseshoes.
Yes,
or-
I could see you being very good at Can Jam because with a disc like that, you can use kind of your normal putting form, and you just have to put the disc nose up over the can, and then it's easy to hit in.
Yep.
You already put nose up.
Yep.
Should be pretty easy.
I'm also really good at beer frisbee. I'm undefeated.
Dude, you weren't here whenever we did our cookout out here.
No, I wasn't.
I took Chris on one-on-one, and I got him.
Nice.
It was difficult. There was lots of frisbee catches that scoop into bottle catches.
Yes. Those
Very
are fun.
many.
Those
yes.
are fun.
Yes.
Rusco and I are undefeated as a team.
Rusco and I are also undefeated.
Nice.
For one game.
One game.
Okay. Anyway,
So
what's
you
the
missed
second
out on
part?
the fun, and Ralph also and Sheba missed out on
I heard
all
that-
the illness.
That's what I heard.
all the-
Every
all the
dog,
puppers.
every dog there
Bird
got
dog.
some form of kennel cough or some sickness.
What happened? What did you guys do?
We all gathered in a circle and coughed on him.
I heard.
Somebody got something and gave it to everybody else.
Well, I was talking to Ralph, and he was a little disappointed he wasn't invited, so he spiked the punch.
Oh,
Yeah,
at the
standard.
party. So
and I almost lost Sebastian. Did you hear that story?
no,
Yes, he ran across the road.
So
didn't care.
like for a while,
didn't care.
for a while the dogs were staying in this area.
Yeah.
No big deal. But like toward the end, maybe closer, whatever. One of the dogs discovered the puddle that's in the little ditch in there,
Oh yeah.
and so
which was
which is-
nasty.
I was gonna guess was that Walter?
Walter did not. He was being a really
I
good
think it
dog
was,
this
was
time.
it Kaya?
Yeah, I think either Kaya or maybe Rooney.
Okay, so Rudy. So these all the golden retrievers. So they obviously love to romp around in the water.
Walter would be the type to get in the water. though.
Right.
He just wasn't. This
So a
time.
lot of them. So then some of the other dogs were like, "Whoa, they look like they're having a good time. Let's go out there and run around." So they went out there and run around, and I would chase Sebastian into, and then they got in. But then Sebastian, he's going through his teenage stage, so he runs away from you. He doesn't come,
doesn't
he
listen.
run. No,
Yeah.
he doesn't listen. So I went out to the road to get him, and he starts running away. And I'm thinking, there's going to be a car coming by. And a lot of people like
Scary.
to fly by the street in
Yes.
front of the warehouse. Sure enough, truck starts coming down. So I'm walking in the middle of the road to let the car know
That's
to
slow down.
Yeah. He's coming up to me. People are yelling at me. There's a truck coming. I said, I know. That's why I'm in the middle of the road. Sebastian starts coming toward me, right? So I come toward him to try to grab him, and he darts away. And I am not kidding you. Probably 10 feet, the truck comes flying by, and Sebastian, if Sebastian, probably within 3 seconds timing, he would have been under the tire.
Oh, that's scary.
And I screamed out to the top of my tongue, top of my lungs. I was like, "Hey!" just screaming, thinking the guy would, obviously
Notice
fear,
what was happening.
And then the guy, and then they all just turn around and look at me, and I give him the dirtiest look.
Ralph got hit by a car in front of me.
He got hit.
He got hit,
Dude,
broke his leg.
Forget
I didn't know that.
that.
Yep.
Oh my
That dude's
gosh.
been through
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
It was roughly 6 months after I'd got him,
Oh wow.
and we were at the park, like we do, and we were on what is now Hole 1 Jones East. Back then was Hole 12 Jones East.
Oh, crossing.
And
Yeah.
over there, kind of by where Julian's house is, that way across Lincoln, he ran up there, and I think he saw a squirrel. And this was, he was young, so he didn't know what he was doing. He was chasing a squirrel, and then next thing you know, I just heard a car slam on the brakes, and then a thud. And I looked up, and Ralph's laying in the road, and then he darts, like he gets up and just sprints right toward me.
Oh wow.
And then he slides at my feet and just lays there, and his leg is like, he looked okay, but his leg was broken. I had to carry him from there all the way to the top of the hill where the parking lot
you
used to be.
Oh wow.
So I had to carry him all the way up there and take him to the vet, and they put a splint on him. Then he jumped off the couch, broke the splint. So they had to put him under and put a full cast on him. And I got a cool picture of him. He looks all grumpy with a cast on. But
That's funny. That's
But yeah,
weird that he came running at you. Like he could help me. I'm
and the
done."
car didn't stop. They just kept going.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I had a
super
disc out, I would have thrown it through his window. Absolutely.
True.
So
Part 2 of the question.
part 2 of the question, everyone.
Right?
I wrote on my disc with a Sharpie, and now I want to change it. Because he changed his name. Or maybe like Robert, he changed his signature.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it sucked.
Do you have any tricks for removing Sharpie from a disc?
Best thing we've got is acetone.
No, the best thing is just to buy a new disc. So
True. New EMAC truths.
dynamicdisc.com.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just kidding.
Fact.
So I've never had to do that. So
Yeah. Best shot you have is acetone.
Yeah, I've never, or Goo Gone or Goof Off or whatever that stuff is. but
Yeah.
no.
It doesn't work great. It depends on how quickly you catch it. If you just sign the disc and you wipe it with acetone, it'll be gone. No problem. If it's been on there for a little while, then you can probably lighten it up some, but it's difficult to get it off entirely.
Paint thinner.
Yeah, that's yeah. I
Put
mean,
some paint thinner in it and just let it sit overnight.
yeah, and then you come back to just not having a disc
Just a
there.
ring.
Yeah, that's right.
a little Breaking Bad
No,
action.
I don't
That's
really
right.
have a. No.
Yep.
Just color the whole disc in, maybe.
Same ink.
Yes.
Good idea.
Everything except your new signature.
Good call.
All right, guys. Now are we done?
We can be done now.
Now
done.
All right,
We're
guys.
done here.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to get this put together and put out for you guys. Remember, be on the lookout for Dynamic Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook page where we'll put the show out there. I think it's going to be strictly just the video.
Just show.
Sweet.
The show.
What
and
you
then
know
the,
about my
the
show.
Disc Golf Answer Man clips. I think that's what we'll call it.
Can't wait.
What do you think? Should we call it clips or singles or daily or
If we do singles, then it would be like,
like picking up on people?
Yes.
Singles?
Single
Singles
clips.
club?
yeah.
Then clips, I guess we could do just clips.
You know what? We're going to talk about it, and we're going to come up with something really intelligent to call it.
Like clips.
Probably clips.
Probably
It's
clips,
it's probably going to be clips.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.